Hello and welcome, everyone. So while we await Dragon to appear out of thin air, we will wait for him to come back, of course. But we are here ready to get started in just a couple of minutes with Street Fighter. We have Street Fighter 6 for you today. You guys, unfortunately, didn't get to see it, but just a few minutes ago, we had Rocket League take on Oakland University. They ended up winning 3-0 over Oakland. That was just off stream a little bit ago. I think it was at 6 Central, which it's currently 7. We do have 3 matchups for you tonight, though. Null Void is going to be able to pop in all 3 series, as long as no one forfeits, of course, in today's lineup. Now, for Null Voidus, he will likely be playing DJ for the entirety of the series, or at least the entirety of the night, I should say. Last week, they ended up playing DJ the entire way through. A 5-0 over Snack Cakes. We have Ole Miss, a 2-3 loss against RG Prime 1 of Miami, Ohio, and a 0-5 loss to Harms of UTK, or for those of you who are unaware of what that school is, it's University of Tennessee, Knoxville, being main campus, U10. You can say Tennessee, whatever you want to call them. And all 3 of those players competing on different characters. Snack Cakes on Rashid, RG Prime on M. Bison, and Harms on Modern Honda, which that name just sounds like a car, obviously, but I'll be real, I don't know. I don't have enough experience in this game to just say Modern Honda's more than just a vehicle these days. But for this week, as long as we get all the players in the lobby, we have James Trombone, Ghost, and EE on. James Trombone of North Texas, who also plays DJ, so we'd have a mirror matchup in that game, as long as Null Voidus stays on DJ, which I would imagine they would. We have Ghost of Community College of Baltimore County, who plays Cammy, went 3-0 last week, 13-2 game count. And also for James Trombone, 3-0. 14-1 overall last week, so a very solid week for both of those players that we could see Null Voidus taking on today. And for the final player, EE on, they are part of Mississippi State, so we could have a Mississippi State Southern Miss matchup as long as everything lines up there. They played Terry, though, a little bit of a different vibe. Went 1-2 with a 5-10 record last week. So I guess to kind of go back onto last week, both of these end up being pool 1. Last week, Null Voidus was in pool 1. Also in pool 1 again this week, just for clarity's sake, and end up being a 7-8 overall set count. So not the craziest week in the world, but at the same time, this is seeding. There's a reason that they have an ELO system in CFGC, and also those are likely some very, very solid players from stuff that I've seen over the past couple of weeks for this title. Now, I don't know how often, at least during the seeding season, we'll be able to see Street Fighter, but we'll get a lot more variety in these matches. When we get further into the regular season, which doesn't start until March, you'll have a little bit less in the sense of a lot of those like 5-0, 3-0 matches, and you'll have more of the 3-2s, 3-1s, a lot closer series with closer sets. But of course, for seeding's sake, they have to put everyone against everyone. They have an ELO system, so there's a little balance to it, but the system isn't always going to be perfect. And of course, it's still meant to place players where they're realistically supposed to be for the rest of the regular season. So there's a lot going on there before we fully figure out who is where. Now, for this week, I'm really intrigued by these 2 players, especially for James Trombone and Ghost. I think they could give a very solid challenge. I'm just very curious about the DJ on DJ matchup and how that one is going to play out. Now, I should probably start this off as how I start off every fighting game stream. I don't watch fighting games, so I really tend to rely on my co-caster in these ones, which the chair next to me is not filled, so we're gonna get through this one together. But I think we'll be okay as long as we get through or get all the matches set up for the night. I don't know how long we're looking at waiting before we get into our first series, but with the way that the scheduling works between having 4 players have to all schedule matches together at the same time, it probably gets a little muffled. So we'll see how things end up working out there. But I think for right now, just so we can, on our back end here, get everything figured out how we want to go and who's playing who when and all that sort of stuff, we're going to toss it to a quick little break. We'll put 5 on the timer and get ready to go. Hopefully we can hop right into gameplay when we're on the other side of this, but we'll find out in just a little bit. So we'll catch you guys in about 5 minutes and we'll see you on the other end.
Wait 1 second.
It's always my fault when we can't go straight to intermission, genuinely. I'm the one who sets this stuff up. We got you in a couple. All right, as you can see, the name has updated at the bottom. Actually, I'll mute his mic. He is in the bathroom real quick. There's a lot of hoopla going on, so he is here though. I won't have to solo cast this, but we do have the match just about ready to go. It is going to be Null Voidus taking on James Trombone, and James Trombone is the other DJ in this pool. So we'll see if both players end up running that mirror match. I'm kind of excited to see if that is the case. I do want to see how the mirror match works out because I feel that ends up determining it to be a little more of just a skill check between both players. James Trombone coming out of University of North Texas, so good work there from them. But I believe they are in the lobby just waiting to hit play and then pop right into this one. Last week, James Trombone went 3-0 overall, only dropped 1 game of their 15 played, so probably one of the highest players in the terms of the ELO at the end of the day, or at the end of last week. But we'll see if they end up having another day where they go 14-1, they go 15-0. I can imagine your ELO gets sent to the moon when you get to do that. All right, you can pop in, Dragon. Welcome back.
Hey, we started this over.
No, you're good. You're good. We haven't gotten into a match yet. We have it just about ready, but we're not fully there yet. We have Null Voidus taking on James Trombone of North Texas.
What a name.
I know, I said the same thing. And it is the DJ matchup. Of course, ignore that score counter while we fix that as well. But we have to skip through a little bit. It's going like this because we are a little bit behind. But
Word.
first round is looking like it can go the way of Null Voidus. Although the combo counter here from James Trombone may close the round down. No, it does not. Good work from Null Voidus at the end there. Will secure round number 1. Now 1 away from taking the first game.
Yeah, very good seeing great combos being landed, good blocks, good dodges. We'll see. Now, he did have his ultimate charge, or his whatever.
Yeah, I believe it, yeah.
Yeah, his ultimate charge, and didn't use it. I wonder if James Trombone's going to use it here. Good little counter hit. Yeah, very interesting to see. How is Null Voidus doing through the season so far?
So this is just week 2 of seeding, so
Gotcha.
only 1 week of matches played, but it was a 1 and 2 week for Null Voidus last week, but I believe these are some of the better players that were at the top there, near the top there, as we see Null Voidus going to take the first game there in our series. Of course, we play all 5 out, at least for seeding's sake. In the regular season, you won't see that happen, but in the seeding season, that's just simply how it works. You can see at the top there as well, 1 win to 0 for Null Voidus.
Oh, I thought that was James. I'm so confused.
Yeah, we have it reversed on the
Oh, gotcha.
overlay. There you go. There we go.
Gotcha, right.
But yeah, also went 7 and 8 overall last week in terms of like the individual matches within the series. So
Gotcha.
this also, James Trombone was 3-0, 14-1 last week. So a win here could be pretty big, especially when you're playing the exact same character. I mentioned it earlier. It feels kind of just like a pure skill check at that point.
Indeed, it looks like so far. And really interesting to see how this played out. I mean, he went 3-0 and went flawless and already got a loss. Good start for us.
Yeah, and very patient there from Null Voidus, but not going to be enough. You see James Trombone going to take the first round there, first in the series. But of course, we got a whopping 5 whole games to get through. So I'd imagine if you don't win a single round in all 5, then that's
Yeah.
putting it nicely. That's a tough break, but I think
Indeed.
it's a little more than just that.
Nope.
And now
great
James
little
Trombone is
combos.
fighting back a lot better in this one. Are seeing the counter to the Null Voidus play style, but Null Voidus has been trying to counter back here in this one.
Oh, good connects. Oh my goodness. Oh my.
Charge, just battering down there. Use of the ultimate is going to do a ton of damage there. It won't kill, but now it could be a counter here from James Trombone to just close it out, and it will be. So that's going to be a 1-1 scoreline now between these two.
Yeah, Noah didn't really have a good recovery after the big counter hit land from James Trabone. It's very sad to see. Now it's 1-1.
And I did mention it earlier, but so you are aware of who's around here. We also have Ghost of Community College of Baltimore County in this pool, who was 3-0 last week, 13-2 game count, and EE_on of Mississippi State, 1-2 last week with a 5-10 game count.
Gotcha. Let's see. Oh, good counters.
Feels like we've seen the pace of this slow down drastically.
Yeah, they
since
started
game 1.
started learning each other's moves, trying to see which one they do the most.
And
Trying
now
the best.
Void is just getting stuck into the back wall there. Does try to jump over to break out. Gets a little bit of a counter, but not much there as a whole. So that's going to be round 1 again over to James Trombone. And since that first game, James Trombone has really brought this to their direction. And you saw it there. Forced Null Voidus all the way into the back wall. Didn't give him much of a chance to get away from it. Although Null
Oh,
Voidus
he's
is now
keeping him in the
responding,
boundary.
doing exactly what we just saw get done to him.
Yep.
So this could be a huge round here for Null Voidus to get right back into it.
Oh no, and then he gets immediately pinned against it. Oh God, he's on a 7 hit combo from James Trombone, but good recovery from Noel. He's fighting back. I'm pretty sure he tried to use. No, he used a big power move. Let's see.
You could see both players just stop for a second,
Yes.
looking for the punish on the other.
Oh, he has a chance.
Trombone get put so weak, but look at this finish from James from James Trombone. The characters being the same is really messing with me, but James Trombone will take game number 3. We'll be up 2-1 in the series, but again, we do play it fully out, and I am now realizing I have it set as a best of 3 counter. So look at me go, forgetting to change it from the League of Legends overlay.
Well, you're good.
And it looks like we are going to have a tiny break there, but should be popping right back into it. Can you? I'm assuming you can change characters mid-series, but I don't know off the top of my head. I don't think you might not be able to. I see.
No idea from here.
We are in the exact same boat. The only difference is that I have the information on previous weeks and who played who.
Yeah.
And that's the only difference between you and I right now.
Just common gamer knowledge. Let's test our skills. I mean, of course, this game is kind of self-explanatory based on the pop-ups happening on the screen.
Yeah, the pop-ups are actually very helpful.
Yeah, when any moves, you can see the counter hit, the reversal.
Oh, no. We have our overlapping names. And we do see a change for Null Voidus. It's going to be Ed now. And that was one of the other characters that was mentioned to me by our production staff of who Null Voidus plays. The third character being Cammy. May not see them here as Null Voidus, though, doesn't look like the character change, at least in this first round, is going to be too beneficial. But of course, you got to take some time to get used to the character before you can just immediately see success. And it was quite a quick round there from James Trombone, putting in the work so far in this series. Start down 0-1, now up 2-1, looking to make it 3-1 going into game 5.
Going to be very interesting. He got put on the back foot and still continue to struggle here.
It's looking much more defensive here from Null Voidus, but there's no punish really coming in.
And he's getting, oh no, is that a finish? Yep,
should be,
it is a finish. Backbreaker move. 45 hit, good gracious.
We'll say that felt like it was very disciplined play out from James Trombone towards the end of that one, especially seeing how defensive Null Voidus ended up getting. So I will say props over to James Trombone. That is now 3-1, and we are into game 5 of our first series of the day. We will have 3 total series today. James Trombone, of course, as you're seeing here, finish out in this final game. Ghost and EE_on. And again, in the first round here, it is just pure offense from James Trombone, sounding the horns of victory in this series right now.
Golly.
That's nearly a perfect.
God. Yeah, that was nearly perfect, and already hit him with a powerful.
The super kick comes in.
Powerful move than just a simple attack. And Noel is doing his best trying to fight. Actually got some knocks in. But James Trombone, he's looking.
That felt a little disrespectful.
Yeah.
Just standing still waiting to punish the Ed
Just
of
combo
Null Voidus,
after
but
combo, counter of counter hits. Just tries, but then a KO to end it all. I believe that's going to be it.
that is going to be 4 out for James Trombone, and still having a very solid map count. Now, to be fair, James Trombone lost one singular game last week, and we saw Null Voidus take 1 game already. So I will say, despite the loss there, that seems like it's one of those losses where it's a good loss to have.
Yeah.
There's clearly a difference between a good loss and a bad loss, and that's in anything like traditional sports, esports, whatever. And this feels like one of those where it's like, okay, I lost to someone who is not losing games anyways, like putting up a fight there regardless.
Yep.
Next, we will see either Ghost of Community College of Baltimore County or On of Mississippi State. And to talk about, I guess, who they play, we do see Ghost play Cami. They went 3-0 last week, 13-2, and On of Miss State plays Terry, who went 1-2 overall with a 5-10 game.
Gotcha. Word. So
But I believe there's probably going to be time in between these series, a tiny bit of time. Everyone is in the same lobby, and it looks like they can just kind of like move around who's playing who, which is kind of cool. It's like a drastic difference from Tekken, where in Tekken you have to like go into like 2K's version or Tekken's version of 2K's The City, and then you just sit there and you have to wait. And like if you join a game, like anyone can join at all times. There's no private matches.
Yeah.
So you just like are like sometimes you'll see one of our players like be in the lobby and then just some random person joins. It's really funny.
great.
But we are going to give you guys a couple minutes. Actually, no, we're not. Never mind. I lied.
We're going into it.
And it's going to be Cammy. So that's Ghost that you see on your screen. Community College of Baltimore County. Mel Voitis has started the round off pretty well. Has gone back to the DJ as well. Likely just switched it up to try and counter what we saw last game. Didn't want the mirror matchup, so tried to switch it. Didn't end up working. But here in this first round, it's looking like it may work out for Null Voitis against Ghost.
Yeah. The big thing with fighters, from what I know at least, if you play somebody who mains that character, I mean, it's good because they're familiarized the weaknesses, but after a while, I mean, if you have somebody like Jimmy Trombone who mains him, he knows the counters, he knows what moves to look for in the cues to counter and get that good counter attack and then just start blocking everything. So the mirror can work just because, I mean, you can just basically copy what he's doing, but at the same time, it's very much can be a downfall.
Yeah, and in the middle of that round there, we saw Null Voitis start to really get comboed into what felt like oblivion, but still managed to come back in the round. Well, I shouldn't say come back, but managed to counter it, break out of that combo, and still stayed alive, took the round. The early game really there was what ended up giving Null Voitis that first round. Now you're seeing it again, trying to back Ghost all the way into the back corner. Doesn't fully get to it, but looking pretty similar to what we saw last round, where the middle of it goes the way of his opponent. Now has to, you see it's a waiting game for a little bit, looking for a punish, and you're going to see the Cammy pull out of it with this round. That should be a KO, and it is. So we are going to have a 1-1 game going into round 3. Good counter there towards the end from Ghost. Managed to at least keep themselves alive here in game 1.
Yeah, that was a great counter to end it. Let's see what Noel can do. Oh, a punish counter. That's what ended the game last time. We'll end that round at least. But we're still kicking strong. Another counter. Empty out the bar for the ultimate.
And now you're stuck in the back wall if you are Null Voitis. Does manage to at least get 1 or 2 breakouts. Does pop the ultimate as well. Will get it. How much damage is that going to do, and how much space is it going to buy? Looks like it has given him an opening here.
He charges back up again. I believe that was a hard counter, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's still going to be a game win regardless for Ghost. So we'll start out 1-0 in the series. Heading into game 2 here. Really just great mid rounds there from Ghost pretty much the entire way through. Like the mid round was what felt like what really won them the game there, because Null Voitis had been starting off pretty hot in every round and just got countered midway through and punished for it.
It was a good punish counter. There's not really much. Oh, great combos, a 14-hit combo. Has a chance. Can he back him up to the boundary? He does in the corner. Oh my goodness, he might have a chance. Ghost is low. Oh, he's charging, crushing hard. Knockdown.
Should do it.
Here it is.
Yep.
KO.
First round of Null Voitis. That knockdown towards the back wall pretty much solidifies it there. Also at 2 on the meter at the bottom right. So looking to charge that up once again. Big knockdown there for Ghost. Gets another knockdown. Now pushes Null Voidus to the corner. Has maybe Null Voidus where they want him. Very weak now. And the constant
my
grabs over and
God.
over. Looks like I'm watching Rey Mysterio in his prime right now. That just looked unstoppable right there for that second round. I mean, what can you even do?
Shoot, they need to make WWE a esport. That would be great to commentate.
2K, that would be wild. I already do the Pat McAfee pencil throw regardless.
Be the Wade Barrett with a absolute voice crack.
Just the pure hater every
Yes.
single time.
It's not really good.
And again, backed up into the corners. No, Voidus, he misses, and that is going to be a massive counter now. And the hits on
It's-
the ultimate ability, that's going to be around. That's
It's
going to be game
Jover.
2-0 for Ghost.
It's so Jover.
The miss is what's going to cost it right there. We'll pop straight into game 3.
This is out of my element, man. Very much out of our element. With good 5-hit combos.
Hey, we
with the
run.
counter hits. Back and forth action. Counters, counter.
That's the crazy part. We can't even read the English that's being thrown to us on the front side of the screen.
Hell no. This is well, he actually finding some rhythm finally. Got him in the corner, but then reverse.
And this is where we see Ghost thrive in those reversals, in the counters, and another punish counter for Ghost. That will be a KO again. It's like, it feels like every time Ghost is pushed into the back wall, they just find a way to break out of it immediately. And you'll see again a counter from Ghost, although hasn't broken out. This could be a good round for Null Voidus if they can avoid getting reversed once again. Being a little more careful
Oh my
here,
goodness.
but still breaking out of it is Ghost once more. Null Voidus, though, being a lot more patient here on these plays. Doesn't seem like it will matter
no.
here. That
Oh,
will
no.
be game
Oh,
3.
no.
3 over to Ghost.
It's a wrap.
Still will play the other 2 out, of course, but
No, of course, yeah. Noel's getting some love from chat. He'll appreciate that. He needs that now, chat. He needs all the love and all the support.
can still bring this back too. And just even winning a single game, mind you, this is also a player who went 3-0 last week, 13-2 overall. Like, these are 2 very solid players that we have Null Voidus going up against.
Yeah.
I think that needs to be pointed out. You can even see the LP at the top. Just look at the difference.
Yep, he was in Diamond. He's Diamond 4, while the other 2 was Mastered.
And yeah, both of them were. So I
He
think
had
that
over
needs to also
like
be out.
almost
out there.
150,000 LP compared to
But-
Noel's 23, but he got a KO. All
Speaking
right.
of, great work there from Null Voidus. Finally didn't get countered out of the back wall. And you see the Null Voidus still trying to fight back here. Doing a lot better dodging these attacks as well. Trying to keep the reversals at a minimum. And now putting it into
Nope.
a combo.
Oh.
Pops the ultimate. Should do a multitude of damage there. Not going to kill, I don't think, but it'll get very close. And with that knockdown, you can capitalize off of it. The counter's still again coming through, but doesn't
there
matter.
we go.
There's a 2-0
There's
in
a
game
win.
4.
There's a win.
So there's at least one for Null Voidus. At least something to take away from this series right there.
Mm-hmm. Good morale boost. I wonder if we can do it again.
Look at how much Ghost is backing off now, too. Ghost is being so much more patient, not just flying in for the kill anymore because of how we saw last game go.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's a little bit more respect here now.
Yeah. Very good to see. Very good to see. Class act by Ghost. No, he could just stomp him in the ground and call him a night. But hey,
Call it a night.
we still got one more series to go. No, this is the only thing we have tonight.
Yes.
Fane.
Yeah. We only have one Street Fighter player.
Gotcha. Word is Bond.
And look at that. Another solid counter from Nalvoidus. Does he connect? Does. Will this kill? Not quite, but very, very close to doing just so. And it will be another knockout. 3 in a row now for Nalvoidus. Could end this series with 2 games in a row. Would certainly look great on the spreadsheet. Well, stat sheet, spreadsheet, elo sheet, whatever you got, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same thing to me. I think it's all the same thing. And I'm the stat guy.
Hey, it's gonna be all good. All good. If he can get this under his belt, it's a class act. He got at least 1 win against 2 high rank opponents. Something not to be discarded of. Of course, the upset is always what we want, but sometimes you just gotta take your wins and losses. Just learn. Just absorb, just start memorizing all the hits and misses. So the next time you can capitalize on it.
And look at Nalvoidus again backing Ghost down into a corner. Not many more places that Ghost can go right now. Just keeping the distance, and I think that's a very wise decision because we've seen how quickly Ghost has been able to counter, and just that, the discipline pays off. That's game 5. 2-3. Nalvoidus will at least pull out 2 on the back half of the series.
Hey.
We'll have just one more now. EE_on of Miss State.
Hey, first matchup, 1 win. Second matchup, 2 wins.
I
Third
think we know what
matchup,
that means.
third matchup,
7
potentially.
7. Did I get you on the Steiner, man? It's a best of 5, I know. You look so lost.
You messed up my flow, man.
I know.
You messed up.
Kind of wacky, huh? Kind of wacky how that works. Now we have one more player left for Nalvoidus to take on. That is going to be EE_on. Man, there's got to be a way to pronounce that better than how I'm saying it.
What is it?
It's just EE_on, but
Oh, Eon.
I feel like you could say just one word. Eon, probably.
Eon.
Like, yeah, that would make more sense.
Eon, I guess.
They will be playing as Terry. Well, at least like reword that. They played as Terry in last week's set of matches in their pool, so likely will be playing as Terry once again. 1 and 2. I didn't see who they played. Well, I did, but I didn't fully write all that down. But I do know at least that they were what their record was and who they played. And the nice thing was, I mean, to be fair, you're not really going to see these players tend to switch it up a lot in who they play realistically, but I would be curious to see if there is, for some reason, someone switching off of their main just for seeding's sake. But
Yeah.
at that point, it's like you're throwing ELO. It's like you're throwing ELO, but at the same time, it is preseason, so you are just testing. Like you're just trying to get better, and so
Yeah. Just
I guess that's worth mentioning, right?
basically just free practice.
Yeah,
Glorified
it is.
practice.
What
What I will say.
I know this is Smash and it's a little different, but I have a friend, shout out to Woodchuck, man. He goes to Smash majors and he intentionally puts money on series against the pro players in Smash. And he's like, it's literally like I'm paying for coaching. He just he will play like $5 wagers. He'll put $5 or $1 down in every single series. He's like, I go into every series knowing I'm going to lose. I'm playing the best players in the entire game. I'm going to lose, but I am treating it as if it's a coaching session, because he'll sit there after and ask them like, okay, what can I do better? How did we take this? How did this happen? That sort of thing. So if you come into it with that type of mentality where you're like, okay, I can use this as a little bit of a practice session, I think it ends up being worth it. But
What a fast for Eon.
I didn't even get to finish my story and that round was over.
Eon absolutely destroyed Noel right there. But now this is going to be a pretty even matchup based on ranks. I mean, Noel is a little bit higher. So she
It's
should.
much more fair than what we just saw in the past too. And with how Nalvoidus has been playing today so far, certainly has the ability to take this player down. Maybe a little bit more of an even matchup in the characters as well. Not really sure how the dynamic works between all of them, but we'll see how that ends up playing out. Now, Voidus, though, getting forced into the corner, knocked down a few times, does break out of it, gets the counter as well. These two are now going to have to play back a little bit, and that will be Voidus capitalizing off the mistake of Eon. So it will be round 3 in game number 1. A quick counter out from Voidus. Now gets Eon stuck in the corner. Can he fully finish this one out? Both players have their ability fully charged. Are they going to be, is anyone going to be able to pop it and get the finish on the round with it? It looks like here comes it. The ability pop from Voidus should do a multitude of damage there. Not going to kill, but going to do significant amounts and the knockdown.
Let's see if he can continue on. He has a chance. Got him down to a third of his health. If he can finish up, but he needs to bounce back quickly, but he's just absorbing these attacks.
A lot of good blocking there out from Voidus. Gets a quick knockdown as well. Tries to counter it fully. Can he finish this one off? And that's a big
so close.
That should
one good hit. A counter.
Wow.
Beautiful counter there from Noel.
Close out game 1. 1-2. I almost said 3-1 for some reason. My math is so bad.
Nah, come on now.
I haven't taken a math class since freshman year of college. I'm a grad student now.
I haven't taken math class. Well, I guess business, man.
Yeah, I'm the one that's doing stats for us.
Hey, that's why we have spreadsheets. Formulas do it for us. The takeover AI began 20 years ago.
It really did. And you see Voidus again. This is just great first round work from Eon. We saw in the first round of the last game, got speed ran. Again, got speed ran in the first round. But it was Voidus who was able to come back. And we may see that as long as Voidus can counter it. I don't know what's different between the first round and the other two for Voidus, or for both players, I guess, in the series. But it seems like that could
It's
be
the map. They like to play better on some maps.
could be the map. You never know.
Or it just a chain reaction. You missed some hits, you didn't really dodge some, and then you just get absolute countered.
Yeah, and I mean, Eon not even giving Voidus a chance to fight back in either of those rounds there. So, going to take game 2 now, a 1-1 series.
Oh,
These two
change up
players are at
characters?
lightning pace in this one.
Yeah.
And it looks like we may see a switch up on characters. And it is. It's Voidus who switches it up. I believe it's
To
going to
Ed.
be Ed once again.
Yep.
So maybe trying to not have to play the game at 500 miles an hour this time. Which, to be fair, I wouldn't want to either. I respect that. I don't. It like makes you think of Call of Duty, like BO6. You are playing the game at 3,000 Mach 17. Like, I don't want to do that. I just want to enjoy actually playing the game.
Yep. Which, speaking of games, what other games do we have this week going towards as we watch Noel do his work? Tell me, inform the audience.
So tomorrow we will have Call of Duty on stream. Kaiser White and Louisiana Tech. If they can win both tomorrow, they will certainly guarantee themselves a spot in the top half of the CCL Southeast Deep South Division. So that is going to be two primetime matchups, especially against a Kaiser team who has not lost yet, and a Louisiana Tech team with 2 losses to two of the upper middle teams in the bracket. And we also will have League of Legends. They will be on their personal streams for their matchup tomorrow. I forget who they play exactly, but it is an NECC matchup, so make sure to tune in for both of those while we have them going on tomorrow night, both starting COD starting at 6:30 Central and League starting at 7 Central, so be aware of both of those as well.
What about Wednesday? What else do we have?
We will have Tekken once again. Every Wednesday is going to be a Tekken Wednesday, so
right.
always going to be on the cast. Ideally, we're going to be on the cast with Fox every single time. As you see there, Void is taking round number 1, a much more methodical one. I had time to speak in that before the round ended, so certainly changing the pace up a lot here is Voidus. Counter from Eon, not going to take a ton of damage initially, but does manage to make it work this time around. Gets Voidus stuck into the back wall, pops it as well, just trying to get this to a 1-1 into round 3. Look at how much damage that's doing. Not going to fully kill, but the hard knockdown certainly going to be very, very beneficial for Eon. Now, Null Voidus has to fight from very far behind in this round, trying to just hold back, get some blocks in, reverses it onto Eon, but not going to have enough health to stay alive in that one. That's going to be now round 3 here, final one in game 3.
This is where it's going to be very crucial to see how Noel's going to combat this. He is playing at a slower pace. This will allow him to be a little more technical on what moves he wants to input and how he's going to be able to counter what Eon throws at him. But right now, it's a 1-1 on both sides. And wow,
Oh,
what a counter from
huge
Eon.
counter from Eon there. And that does so much damage to Null Voidus. We'll see if he can battle it out of this one. Does have his ability to pop if he can get to using it. Gonna look to grapple in. Doesn't really get much out of it though. May just need to try and use it here. Can't actually use it now, but we'll see it come through. Does connect. It's not gonna kill, I don't believe, but it'll be very, very close.
Oh, that's going to be a close one. Let's see.
Oh, huge connection
Oh,
there.
and he
Needs to
blocks it.
block this.
No!
Does not get the full block on the second move. And Eon gonna take game number 3. We'll have a 2-1 lead, but I have a feeling this one will be 2-2 going into the 5th.
Indeed. Be very interesting. We're going to go a little side topic. How was your Super Bowl weekend?
Man, I didn't want either team to win, and that game was boring.
How was the halftime show for you?
I'm not a Kendrick fan, so it's not because I don't like. It's not that I dislike him. I just don't listen to him.
Ah, gotcha.
I have to point that out because otherwise I will get lampooned by people.
See, I listened to Kendrick enough to know what he was playing.
Yeah,
now,
I
of
know
course,
the
him.
songs.
Yeah, but now of course him starting out at the beginning with like some of his new stuff and like unreleased, kind of questionable. But I mean, the message that he wanted to send was the message he wanted to send.
Yeah.
Can't doubt an artist for that. But then he was able to, the big highlight for me at least when he brought out SZA. Oh, that was a great performance. And then all the stars, which is probably what Null Voice is seeing right now. Is he got beat again by Eon.
Yeah, gonna need to, in quotes, reverse sweep. I don't like calling best of threes reverse sweeps, but essentially that in this game, if he wants to make it 2-2 going into game 5, gets the grapple, but will be an escape there for Eon. Now looking to counter and does have the advantage right now, trying to keep a hold of it. Counter again, does end up connecting there. Null Void is very weak, and it will be game number 4 to Eon. 3-1 heading into our final game of the night already. It feels like we've only been live for like 40 minutes because we've probably only been live for 45. That's a guess. I don't have my phone. It's broken, so.
Hey, not a bad guess. You are correct.
I was?
HQ has confirmed it. Oh, we only been online for 45 minutes.
My sense of time is incredible.
It is indeed.
I used to say it's one of my worst attributes, and apparently it's not anymore. And it's looking like Null Voidus has something to prove here in game 5, at least trying to bring this one back before ending off the night. And you see very quickly trying to get this round out of the way. Good combos out from Null Voidus, doing the good work. Will take round 1, looking to make this a sweep in game 5.
Let's hope.
I guess it's something we should point out too. You can see the rank for Ed from Null Voidus. Certainly a good bit more experience on this character. It didn't seem like it was a drastic difference, but it was certainly noticeable. But the throw there from Eon, looking to force a final round in game 5, may be able to do so, especially with that stun that should be wraps on the round, and it is just that. The stun gonna be pivotal in forcing the final round, and we have one more before we head off for the night.
It's going to be impeccable to see who's going to get this one.
Both players have their charge as well. Their meters are full, so we will likely see one, if not both of those come out. The grapple, is it going to be enough for Null Voidus to bring in Eon? Looks like not quite just yet. And is he going to get this counter? Does. Now backing off is Eon, trying to keep this one alive, but is getting hit with those ranged attacks. Now both players just constantly connecting with them. Punish counter out for Eon, but the meters are still full, and you can see how patient they are being with them. The throw from Eon trying to bring in Null Voidus. Now see a counter once again from Null, trying to end off this round and end off game 5 with a victory. Null Voidus just trying to block everything coming his direction. Does just so. Now countering, has the combo
trying.
in
He's
place.
doing
and
it.
that is
He's
going
doing it.
around. Good work from Null Voidus to close
Yep.
out game 5. End the night on a victory. That's going to be a 3-2 series. Still over to Eon, but regardless, you end this one off on a victory.
Yes, indeed. Now, reading off some of the chat work. Funny enough, after our little Madden fiasco,
Fiasco.
yeah, a little Madden with the
I
little
guess the
console
PC
war. Yeah, the console wars. PlayStation server's been down all
I know. I said that to
weekend.
my
That
friend.
is so hilarious.
I said that to my friends. I was like, yeah, I was defending PlayStation, and then all of a sudden the servers go down for 2 straight days. Like, they heard me. They had to. Xbox had to have heard me yapping, and they're like, all right, we're shutting them down. Done.
Yep. Like, you gotta play on Xbox now. Xbox server was thriving. I saw it on Twitter. I'm like, that is so funny. And then my
Yeah.
buddy who was in the chat, who was a big Xbox guy, pointed it out.
They don't want to see me win, man. They just don't. But
You picked an uphill battle.
I
Picked an
did.
uphill battle.
But a very strong pull tonight there for Null Voidus, and did manage to grab a couple games off of some very solid players. Took 1 off of James Trombone, 2 off of Ghost, and 2 off of Eon. So we'll head into the 3rd week with, hopefully, I mean, ideally, not as ridiculously strong of a pull as what we've been seeing, but
Yep.
we'll have to find out as we head into week 3 of CFGC Seeding. But that is going to do it for us tonight. Thank you all for joining us. If you don't already, go follow us on social media at Southern Miss Esports on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and right here on Twitch. Go scroll down and hit that follow button if you aren't already. But we will catch you guys back here tomorrow night. We have Call of Duty taking on Kaiser White at 6:30 Central, and at 8 p.m. Central, they will be taking on Louisiana Tech. Looking for a spot in that top half. If they can win both, they are guaranteed in there because they only have 1 match left after that, which is Mississippi State 2 weeks from tomorrow. Or sorry, 1 week from tomorrow. But for now, we'll catch you guys tomorrow night. One more thing.
Excited. Southern Miss.
To the top. See you tomorrow night.